for the kingdom of Yah.
Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom to everyone that's watching. All praise to the Most High, wherever you might be, at home, in the assembly today, or at school, be watching this video a little later on in the car, wherever you might be. This lesson is for you, and we're going to get right into it. Actually, this lesson is like a continuation from last week when we went over Daniel's or the visions of Daniel last week. This week, we're going to prophetic wars, because all of those things that happened prior to what we're going to do now has led us up to this point now. So the name of today's lesson is Prophetic Wars. Prophetic Wars. Now, there's a series of wars that was prophesied. There's a series of wars that was prophesied to take place before the return of the Messiah. And all praises to the Most High, we are seeing those prophecies taking place now. It sounds like an oxymoron for me to say all praises for war. But all praises for war, because these things must take place. And we are in the generation, and we are the generation that are witnessing what the Messiah has warned us about, what to look for upon his return. And it is the responsibility of the teachers throughout Israel to prepare the people for what happens next. We have to prepare spiritually, prepare their minds, and prepare the folk physically as well, because these are very trying times. It's going to happen. Warn the people, instruct the people in what it is we ought to be doing. All right, so let's go to Matthew first. Let's go to Matthew 24. Matthew 24, and we're going to begin at verse 3.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he said upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what will be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
When shall these things be? What is the sign of that coming and of the end of the world? So when is the end of the world? What are the signs? What is the end of the world? Verse 4.
Verse 4.
Come on.
And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Mm-hmm.
For many shall come in my name, saying,
Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. Many shall come in my name, saying that I am Christ. Read.
And shall deceive many.
And these many are going to deceive many. So, who is the many that is coming? With the rise of Christianity and the sign of the false Christ Caesar Borgia of the 15th century, Italian cardinal, the son of Pope Alexander VI. This is the modern day stereo depiction of Jesus Christ, who they call him Jesus Christ, right? So the many is all of Christendom, 2.4 billion Christians in the world, deceiving and being deceived into thinking that they're walking and living like the Messiah walked and lived. That's the deception. Because they call themselves many Christs. Christ-like. I'm Christ. That's essentially what they're saying. When they say when you say I'm a Christian, you say I'm Christ-like. So this is what he did, right? Now, nowhere in the scripture does it says Christ ate unclean foods and prayed over That's a deception. Right? So this is what the Messiah is saying. Many will be deceived, saying, I'm Christ-like. I'm Christ. But 2.4 billion Christians in the world are all deceiving themselves and saying, I'm Christian, I'm Christ-like. I can eat what I want, dress how I want, do whatever I want. I don't have to keep the Sabbath, go on the feast days. I don't have to do any of these things that Christ actually did. All I have to do is say, I'm Christ-like. Deception. So that is so for many years, people were believing that it was just going to be one or two people coming up and saying, "Hey, I'm Christ." Bad people following. No. We're talking about Christianity. Is who he's referring to. Is the many, as the many that's coming, and is going to deceive, be deceived, and do the deceiving. Right. Verse 6.
Verse 6, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled.
Don't be troubled. Come on.
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Don't be troubled, because there has to be the Revolutionary War. There has to be the French Indian War. There has to be the Spanish American War. There has to be World War I. There has to be World War II. There has to be the American, I'm bringing it up today now, the American Houthi conflict, right? That we're seeing over there, right? That has to happen, right? There has to be a conflict between China and Taiwan, North Korea and America, North Korea and everything on it, right? There has to be a problem, Palestine and Israeli war, right? There has to be a Israeli and Iran conflict, right? All of these wars have to happen. There has to be an American versus everybody. Americans on everybody's hitting this because they're against everybody. That has to happen. But guess what he says? When you see that, wars and rumors of wars, the end is not yet. That's not the end. Once you see that, read on.
Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
Come on.
Kingdom against kingdom.
Read.
And there shall be famines.
There should be what?
Famines.
Not a famine. Famines. Plural. There has to be many famines. Like there's going to be many wars. There has to be many famines. Read.
And pestilences.
And many various epidemics and diseases. Come on.
Earthquakes in diverse places.
All over the world. It's going to be unusual activity, right? Tectonic plate activity. Don't normally do this, but it's going to happen. Remember last year in Northern Africa, it was unusual, but like 50,000 people died at once. The earth just opened up. It opened up and they all fell in. Right? That's unusual. Stuff like that don't normally happen. But this is what the earthquakes in diverse places is talking about. Can we bring up that first image, please? It's talking about famines. I think it's image 2.
Okay, too.
Yeah. Can you all see that?
So it's the,
Not that one.
I know. This is delayed.
Okay.
It's about this one.
Oh, that's just running behind us. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. All right. Can everyone see? Can everyone see that? Now I got not that one. Not that one. I don't want that. That's wrong image. I want the Concern USA. That's what I want.
Okay.
Or the website, either one. I can roll with this. I got this from the think tank, concernusa.org, and they track famines and world hunger. This is a think tank that tracks hunger, world hunger. Right, so here's the numbers. Here's the statistics. The world produces enough food to feed all of its 8 billion people. Yet 733 million people, that's 1 in 11, go hungry every day. Watch this. This should be surprising, but it's alarming to hear. Half of all children's deaths are linked to malnutrition. Half of all the children of the world, they die because of starvation. 9 million people die from hunger-related issues every year. Hunger rates in Africa are especially high. About 1 in 5 people are going hungry each day. Around the world, the statistic is 1 in 11. In Africa is 1 in 5. 2.8 billion people around the world, that's 35% of global population, cannot afford to eat a healthy diet. And that's not just talking about people in so-called third world countries either. We're talking about right on here in the good old US of A. Your next door neighbor is hungry and you don't know it. You don't know it. Kids is always staring at you because they know there's food in there. Kids is always staring. They're hungry. The percentage is even higher in the lower income countries, where 71.5% of the people cannot afford a healthy diet. According to the 2024 Global Hunger Index, hunger levels in 36 countries are ranked as serious. This ranked as serious means there's a problem. In 36 countries ranked as serious means there's famine going on. Plural, famines are happening around the world. So you just can't say, well, you know, you have it in my neck of the woods. It just have an effect you primarily. Yeah. But when you go to the store and you see that steak that you can't afford that you used to buy, oh, I used to have steak every Monday. Now you can't afford it. Guess what? Famine. According to the 2024 Global Hunger Index, hunger levels in 36 countries are ranked as serious. That's serious. The 2024 Global Hunger Index also rates hunger levels as alarming in 6 countries. This is what does alarming mean? This is an emergency. And it ain't no food here. Burundi, Chad, Madagascar, Somalia, South Sudan, and Yemen. The number of people experiencing hunger has gone up approximately, watch this number, 152 million in the last 5 years. As of October 2024, the integrated food phase classification estimates that 1.33 million people around the world are experiencing what? Famine. Or famine-like conditions. So 1.33 million people is experiencing famine. They ain't got no food. They got no food. Or they barely have food. Famine-like conditions. Right? Come on, let's come out of that. So that's a sign of us coming. What you see. And when you got famine, because you ain't gonna be hungry too long. Think about you as a man, or as a woman. I won't just say it, man. I won't just narrow it down to a man. Or as a woman, how long you gonna sit there and watch your baby say I'm hungry before you do something about it? And do something about it might not got nothing to do with your morals either. I don't steal. Not until my baby keep on stealing. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You might find yourself stealing. And if you steal, like my grandmother said,
Yeah.
you kill. Yeah. And if you steal, you might have to kill. Because they don't want to let their stuff go. You understand? So it creates a system of instability in the family members. In many countries, go to war, you know why? They ain't got no food. We got guns, though. We can't eat these guns, but we can shoot these bullets and take your food. The next one is pestilence. Pestilence. Let's go to that image. Pestilence. I got this off of the good old World Health Organization. World Health Organization off that website. This is pestilence. And what pestilence is a sudden, pestilence is a sudden fatal epidemic. Sudden fatal epidemic. This is what Yahushua was speaking on. When he was talking about the wars, before the wars come, we're going to have famine. Always precede the war. Before the wars come, we always have an epidemic or pandemic before the war comes. So famine was first, pestilence was next. Now, according to the World Health Organization, according to the World Malaria, this parasitic disease transmitted by mosquitoes is estimated to have killed 5 billion people. 5 billion people. This is after Yahushua was dead, resurrected, and gone. Right? But this is what he said was going to happen, that was going to had to happen prior to him coming back. Right? Malaria killed about 5 billion people. Tuberculosis, they said, to be a bacterial infection, primarily affects the lungs, causing significant respiratory problems, and that's claimed over 1 billion. 1 billion. Smallpox, highly contagious viral disease, eradicated in the 1980s, but that's caused up to 1 billion deaths globally before that. The bubonic plague, Black Death. This pandemic is in the 14th century, causing bacterium. What's that word? Yersinia pestis killed between 75 to 200 million people, particularly in Europe, because they were very nasty people. Europe and in the Mediterranean region, they didn't believe in bathing. Some of them still. Influenza is more common, but this is the Spanish flu pandemic. Watch this. Alone killed 20 to 50 million people. This is 1918. Million people, also causing significant loss of life. And then more recently, we had COVID-19. Surprisingly, didn't kill as many people as all the other folks. And it's just, and it only counted the world. It only counted. I found this funny too. It only counted within particular regions, Western regions, and things like that. It didn't like account for Africa, China. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take those numbers into consideration. It only took like the West or the European numbers into consideration. Even with that, it killed just 3 million people, significantly lower than all those others. But still, that's a lot of people that died. All right, let's come on to that. So you might ask yourself, why would these things be a sign of this coming, right? So the Most High declares, is there evil in the city and I have not done it? Yah's hand is in the famine, the natural disasters, because it weakens the government systems. And when the government's actions or powers do not match the needs of the populace, then that system fails. When there's chaos, there's civil unrest. Let's go to 2nd Ezra right quick. 2nd Ezra 11 and 39. Second Ezra 11. All praises. 39.
This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 11, and verse 39. Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts?
Read it again.
Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts?
Are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts? Remember the four beasts we talked about last week? Remember the four beasts we talked about last week? Right? So who was the last beast? Rome was the last beast, right? Rome was the last beast. Now the question is, are thou not that remainest? The prophet says, are not thou that remainest of the four beasts? Remember that iron went into the marble clay, right? It mixed with the clay, right? So it didn't fully go away, it just came back weaker. The Roman system didn't fully go away, it was wounded and then came back. Came back as who? As who? As the United States. Came back as the United States. Just a weaker version of the Roman Empire. You understand? You understand?
Okay.
So he says, so read it again, D, read it again.
This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 11, verse 39.
Mm-hmm.
Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts,
Come on.
whom I made to reign in my word,
I let you reign in this world. Come on.
that the end of their times might come through them?
That the end of your time might come through you. The reason I put a wicked man up, the reason why I put a base man into power is to watch you destroy yourself. Donald Trump, yeah, look down. I placed him there to watch him destroy himself. Mm-hmm. The prophecy states that he put people in power and then he places situations around those people in power to watch them fail. It's a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup, and it's all because of you. It's all because of you. Yeah, let's go to Luke right quick. Let's go to Luke 21. Yeah, they got set up. Just don't know it's set up. Luke 21, let's start at verse 24.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword,
Mm-hmm.
and shall be led away captive into all nations.
We were, come on,
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles,
come on.
until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
They're going to bring about the demise. They're going to bring about their own demise. Verse 25.
Verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars,
Come on.
and upon the earth distress of nations.
Upon the earth, distress of nation means wars. Distress of nations means wars. Come on.
With perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring,
Mm-hmm. Come on.
men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth.
Which are coming upon the earth, which is famine, pestilence, earthquakes, and wars, and rumors of wars. Rumors of wars is just as stressful as a war. You understand what I'm saying? An actual war taking place. A rumor of war is it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Oh man, it's going to happen. You're going to press that button. It's going to happen. That's stress. That's just as scary as at least if it's popping off, you already know what you're into. But if it ain't popped off yet, you don't know what they about to do. Is they gonna drop? Is it gonna be boots on the ground, or is it all gonna be about ballistic missiles and nuclear weapons? You know what I'm saying? You don't know. Read on. Is that it?
No.
All right, read
For
on.
the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
The powers of heaven shall be shaken. Now, this is world governments are going to enthrone upon themselves. That's what the powers of heaven is saying. Meaning, powers of heaven is going to be shaken because the Most High is not going to be shaken. No. So, what heaven is it talking about? It's talking about government system. Let's go to Daniel 4:17. Daniel 4:17.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 17.
Come on.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers,
By the angels. Come on.
and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
The Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. In men's matters, the Most High is in the business. He's in that business. At the UN, the Most High is there. Because he got folks that he got stuff going to put on their mind. He ruleth in the matters of men. Come on.
And giveth it to whomsoever he will.
Come on.
And set up over it the bestest of men.
The basis of men. So you wonder, how did Donald Trump, as vulgar and as ignorant as he is, become the president of the United States? Most High. He put that base man in there. That's right. He put that dog in there. Because he know what that dog gonna do when he in there. He know what that dog gonna do. That dog gonna create chaos. That's what's needed. That's what's needed. Because some of you Negroes thought that Donald Trump was gonna save you. You did. I'm for Trump. Oh, you need to get in there. Some of y'all thought, surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Even the I'm talking about even foreigners. Yeah, let's get Donald Trump. He threw them out, threw them together. He ain't even been there for 90 days. He started throwing people out. I said, them Arabs down there in Detroit, them Arabs down there in Dearborn, yeah, we're going to vote for Trump. And he shut them down as soon as he got in there. Go back to your SHIT countries. Yeah. I thought y'all was doing something. He showed you who he is, the basis of men. It's excellent. It's going to be great. It's going to be excellent. It's going to be really, really the best. Nobody's like me in history. Yeah. He showed you what's up. He threw the one man out by mistake. The man was born here. The Spanish, he threw him out. And then when the Supreme Court said, y'all was wrong, he said, oh yeah, we know we was wrong. But we don't want him back. He can stay there. He didn't do nothing wrong. We still don't want him back. This here is a white country. We try to make America great again. And that means getting all you Hispanics out of here and having to put the black folks back where they belong. In the cotton fields and on the fruit farms picking fruit and stuff. That's what niggas belong. We try to make it great again. Y'all can believe that man your friend if you want to. Lamentations. Let's go to the book of Lamentations. The book of Lamentations. Because all of this is happening for you. All these wars is going on, everything is happening. It's for you. Y'all heard India and Pakistan, two nuclear world powers dropping stuff on each other. You heard about all this stuff. The world is going to hell in a handbasket for you, Israel. It's for you. It's for you. He's making it happen. That's right. He said it's going to be wars and rumors of war. Wars all over the world before I return. Lamentations 2 and start at verse 1.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 1. How have Yah covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven into the earth the beauty of Israel, and remember not his footstool in the day of his anger.
And remember not his footstool in the day of his anger. Verse 2.
Verse 2.
Come on.
And thou hast swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob, and have not picked.
And have not picked. Come on.
He hath thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Israel.
Come on.
He hath brought them down to the ground. He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof.
Because we said, and he was angry with us. Verse 3.
Verse 3. He hath cut off in his fierce anger all the horn of Israel.
Come on.
He hath drawn back his right hand from before the enemy, and he burned against Jacob like a flaming fire, which devoured round about.
Round about. Read.
He hath bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary, and slew all that were pleasant to the eye. In the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion, he poured out his fury like fire.
He poured out his fury like fire. Read verse 5 and 6.
Verse 5. Yah was an enemy. He hath swallowed up Israel.
Yah was what?
An enemy.
He was an enemy to Israel because we were disobedient. Come on.
He hath swallowed up Israel. He hath swallowed up all her palaces. He hath destroyed his strongholds.
Read.
And have increased in the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation.
And lamentations. And how did he do it? Verse 6.
Verse 6. And he hath violently taken away his tabernacle.
Hold that. We're going to come back to verse 6. Let's go to Matthew right quick. Matthew 11 and 12.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent taking it by force.
And the violent was taken by force. The violent ones took the kingdom of heaven by force, which were the children of Israel. Back to verse 6. Lamentations. Back to Lamentations.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 2, and verse 6.
Read.
And he hath violently taken away his tabernacle.
Come on.
As if it were of a garden.
As if it were of the garden, just like the fall of Adam. He booted us out of there. Adam was violently pushed out of the Garden of Eden. You got to go, my man, for your disobedience. Go. And he was violently snatched out of the garden. That was a heavy fall, was it not? We talked about that week before that, right? That was a heavy fall, right? It was a violent and heavy fall for the children of Israel that took place in 70 AD. When he snatched us out of our land, it was violent. And the Most High became an enemy to us because of our disobedience. Let's read out that verse.
He hath destroyed his places of the assembly. Yah hath caused the solemn feast and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion.
Read.
Have despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priest.
The king and the priest. Let's go see what the Bible was. Daniel 9 and 26. Yeah,
The
give
book of
me
Daniel.
for a second. I'm trying to get my leg and getting unstuck here. All right, come on.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Neither have we hearkened unto thy servants the prophets,
Mm-hmm.
which spake in thy name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land.
And to all the people of the land. What verse you at?
Verse 7.
No, 9 and 26.
Oh, I thought you said 9, 6.
No.
Salaki. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And after 62 weeks shall the Messiah be cut off, but not for himself.
The Messiah is going to be killed after 62 weeks. Come on.
And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary,
Come on.
and the end thereof shall be with the flood.
Read.
And until the end of the war, desolations are determined.
Desolations are determined. Desolations mean empty. It's going to be empty. It's going to be desolate. A wasteland. Nothing there after I throw Israel out. Right? That's why it was so easy for the other nations to come in and be like, let's go ahead and take this off. Yeah. Let's pull up the image right quick. Let's see who the prince was. Let's see who the people of the prince that shall come and destroy the city and the sanctuary was. See who it was. This is from Canada. Let's see if I can see that. You know I can see it. I gotta actually go into it because I can't see it. You want to put it back up? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, I got this information from the Britannica.com. It's the Roman Empire. It's under the subheading the fall of Jerusalem. Jerusalem siege, triumphal parade in Rome of Jewish religious articles, a 7-branch candle, a table, the showbread, and the sacred trumpets. Okay, that's not what. Oh, here we go. In April 70 CE, about the time of Passover. So these events happened at the time of Passover. Now watch this. Because our people are silly. You know, we don't think. The most High know too. We're silly people. In April 70 CE, about the time of Passover, a Roman general Titus, so now we know who the prince is that was being spoken of. The Roman general Titus besieged Jerusalem. Since that action coincided with Passover, the Romans allowed the pilgrims to enter into the city, but refused to let them leave. So they knew we was about to have Passover. They said, "Come on in." They knew it. They knew it was unarmed too. Who was unarmed going into for Passover to keep the Passover, and they just let us in the gate, open up the gate, say, "Yeah, y'all go in. Do y'all thing. Right?" Coinciding with Passover, the Roman allowed the pilgrims to enter into the city, but refused to let them leave, thus strategically depleting food and water supplies with Jerusalem. Within the walls. The Zealots, a militant anti-Roman party, struggled with other Jewish factions that had emerged, which weakened the resistance even more. Josephus. Now we always talk about Josephus because he's a historian. We're always going to his literary works, right? So Josephus, a Jew who had commanded the rebel forces, he was a commander of the rebel forces, but when he defected to the Roman cause. He defected to the Roman cause, meaning he was a sellout, right? He defected to the Roman cause, attempted to negotiate a settlement. But because he was not trusted by the Romans and was despised by the rebels, the talks went nowhere. The Romans encircled the city with a wall to cut off supplies to the city completely, and thereby drove the Jews to starvation. Famine. They wanted to create a famine atmosphere, an atmosphere of famine before they went to war. Because they know you if you're hungry, you're weak, right? You ain't got no strength to fight. Let's go to we're gonna come back to this right here, but let's go to Deuteronomy right quick. Deuteronomy 28, and I believe it's 54 is where I want. See, 54. But we talked about this in Q&A class too. And some of the women were sickened by it, but it happened.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54.
Come on.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes should be evil toward his brother.
I want the siege. I'm talking about the siege. Is it 55?
Yeah, got it. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege.
In the siege, like so in the siege, we was in the siege for 4 years. So a lot of folks don't understand when they talk about 70 AD. They think it just popped off in 70 AD. No, this fight started in 64. See, this fight started. This rumblings of this thing started happening in 64, 65. They just pinned us off and closed us out by 66. And kept us in there for three and a half years, no food. So read it again, D.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in the siege.
In the siege, read.
And in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates.
So this was prophesied to happen, and it actually happened in 78 and 70 AD, 70 CE. Whereas we were trapped inside the walls of Jerusalem with no food in a famine situation, but there were babies there. Now these babies can't fight, but they sure can be used for food to help the fighting men fight. That's a hard thing to think about. They're gonna die. They're gonna die anyway. When they get in here, they're gonna die and be sold or be somebody's slave, a sex slave and or both, labor slave. These babies gonna be somebody's sex slave or labor slave or both. So the men and women had to make a decision. We don't have no food. But we're gonna eat these babies and have strength enough to fight another day, or we just gonna lay down. What we're gonna do? And it was prophesied that this was gonna happen. And our forefathers made a decision: we're gonna have to eat some babies. You okay? You all right? Okay. They made that decision. So we still lost. Basically, no, we still lost. They still came in there and burned down the temple and burned us out of there and killed millions of us. They killed millions of us through a prophetic prophesied war from Deuteronomy 28. And also what the Messiah has said. Come out of that. Come out of that. Also what the Messiah had prophesied. Let's go to Matthew 24. Because he warned you. Remember, we just read it was during the Passover season, and they went back and they came out of the pyramid, they came from all over and went into the temple, right? Just read that, right? But the Messiah prophesied something, right? He prophesied something in verse 24. Chapter 24. Chapter 24 and 15 now. Matthew 24 and 15.
Sorry, I was on mute. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place.
So,
Read
it.
Whoso readeth, let him understand.
So this is what the Messiah is saying. So he said, when you see the abomination of desolation that Daniel spoke about, and we just read what Daniel spoke about, what was going to happen in the temple, right? The Messiah says, when you see this happening, because this happened right after his death, it was just a few short years after he was gone that this situation happened. But he's prophesying about it now. Read on.
Verse 16. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
He said, you that's here already, run. Flee into the mountains. When you look at it, it's the Judean mountains that he's speaking of, right? He's actually, without saying Africa, because it wasn't such a thing at the time. He was saying running deeper into Africa. That's what he was saying. Because the Judean mountains is what separates Israel from Africa. Well, it's all on the same continent. Yeah, but it's west of it. Yeah, it's all on the continent, but it's west of it. So he was like, flee into the mountains, meaning go deeper into the continent of Africa. That's what he's saying. Read on.
Verse 18.
Verse 17.
Verse 17, slide. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
Don't take nothing out of the house. Run. That's what he said. He said, run, because it's going down. Come on.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes.
Don't think about what you need to go. I need to go get that shawl my mama made for me. No, run. Run. Come on.
Verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Because you can't run that fast when you're pregnant. Your belly all swollen and stuff. You can't run. And then the baby's gonna slow you down too. That's why he's saying woe unto them, because you know about the baby situation. He said woe unto them that got babies. Woo, woe unto them. Come on.
Verse 20. But pray you that your flight be not in the winter.
Come on.
Neither on the Sabbath day.
Because you don't be looking on the Sabbath day. You don't be looking. You know, so you got your head down. You're not looking on the Sabbath day. You disarmed on the Sabbath. Come on.
Verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation. Was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be.
Nor ever shall be. Let's go to 2 Ezra 9. Let's go to 2 Ezra 9 and 2 Ezra 9 and 2.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 2.
Go to start verse 1.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1.
Come on.
He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before,
Come on.
then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
He said, measure the time. Measure the time is take the opportunity to see what I've said to you. The prophecies that I spoken to you, take the time to measure and see what is going on in the world, right? And then measure it against the time and see whether or not is it time for the Most High to come back. Is it time for him to visit the earth? Come on.
Verse 3. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars
What is
of the
uproars?
people in the world.
What is uproars? Wars. Uproars is wars. Conflict. Conflict. There's earthquakes. Therefore, when you shall see earthquakes, who else? We just read this in other places, right? Whenever you, the Messiah just said this, right? Whenever you see earthquakes, uproars of the people in the world, read verse 4.
Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Even from the beginning, read.
Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
And the end is manifested. There's a beginning and there's an end. And he knows the beginning and the end. Read.
Verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs.
Do you know why this show come on called Ruthless? Y'all just heard of it? It's a Tyler Perry show called Ruthless. And in this show, they call this cult leader the highest. Right? And they all are waiting for the Ruach. What is they called? What is it? Ruach Kadushi. Ruach Kadushi. They're waiting for the Ruach the what? The Ruach Kadushi. They're waiting for the Ruach Kadushi to lead them to paradise or be go into paradise. But when you read the scripture, you see how blasphemous Tyler Perry is. Tyler Perry, you're a blasphemous devil. You're a blasphemous devil. You is. And I know you like men too. You enjoy wearing dresses and shit, and shaking it, dropping it down. You like that. You like that. He's you can really see how blasphemous he is. Because he's running around just calling this man the highest. You can tell he get this stuff from scripture too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I thought about him. Because the verse 6, that's what I thought about him. Because of verse 6. Even so, the time also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works and ending in effects and signs. The Most High, the highest above all, calls the end at the beginning. Second Ezra 13 and 29.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, and verse 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth.
Come on.
And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another.
The one city against another city. So I want y'all to understand what's happening. Just because there's fighting going on one side of America, don't mean you may be involved. You understand what I'm saying? They might be getting down in Michigan, right? The fighting is going on, and it's normal here. There ain't no bullets, ain't nothing, it ain't reached down here. But it's going down in Michigan. So different parts of the world, different parts of the country might be in full blacks, might be some wars going on. And that's always been in the case of war. There's been people living throughout World War I, World War II. There's people living in those war zones. But they were over there, they were just doing their thing. Farming and whatnot. And they heard the bombs over there. They heard the fight going on over there, but it didn't come over there where it was yet. And that's the way it's going to be here. That's the way it's going to be here. Read it again.
This is the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 13 and verse 31.
Come on.
And one shall undertake to fight against another.
Come on.
One city against another.
One city against another. Come on.
One place against another.
One place against another.
One people against another.
Come on.
And one realm against another.
One realm against another. There's going to be pockets of wars that's happening before you return. Pockets of wars. Might not be going down where you at. Georgia might be on fire. And those that ain't in the fight, you might have to get up out the door. Parents, we got to get out of here. We got to go. It's too much now. Bombs everywhere, people shooting, and family ain't nothing to eat, guns going on. Read on.
Verse 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen, which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, when thou sawest as a man ascending.
So that man you seen ascending is that man that's coming back. Then when you see all of these wars that's happening, all of these physical confrontations that's going on, much like these are the beginning of sorrows now. But once you start to see these pockets of wars taking place, then that's when you're going to say, oh, he's on his way. He's coming. He's coming. Because this is the time, right? This is the time he should be coming. Right? Let's go to Revelation 16 and 15. Revelation 16 and 15, we're almost done.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief.
Listen, he says, behold, I come as a thief. When a thief comes, you don't know that the thief then came, do you? No. You don't know the thief came until you get ready to go where you didn't get. Then you say, oh my goodness, I done been had. The thief done got me. I done been had. But you don't know that the thief was there. You know what I'm saying? This is what how Shine says. Because some of you will be eating and drinking and having a good time and living your life, living your best life, and having fun. And you know about the truth, but you know it ain't happening over here yet. I ain't worried about it. Oh, my soul ain't on the line. I'm good. Little do you know, things that came and went. And you gonna get up and shake yourself and don't feel no spirit. You're gonna be like, man, where ain't no class today? Where Bishop at? Bishop gone. He done came all the way. What you mean? What you mean? What's going on? No Zoom here, but you know Zoom today. Ain't nothing happening. Bishop is gone. Deacon ain't reading today. Hopefully, Deacon gone too.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, every man got to examine their own self. I can't speak for nobody but me. I know I'm gone. I know I'm I already told y'all, when I get in the wilderness, if I see you in the wilderness, all praises. If you a rebel that's in the wilderness, and he said, cut off your head, guess what? My leg will be working real good. Yeah, I come with that sword. Yeah, I come with that sword. What picture? And then Messiah said, "I'll put your head off. You gotta go." I believe in obedience and compliance. You should have the best way. When you look at me on the ground, with your head, your eyes open. I'll just go over and just close your eyes. Just take my 2 fingers. Close your eyes. Anything else you want me to do? All right. Y'all ain't laughing too much about that. Let's go to Revelation 16. Let's stay with it. Revelation 16 to 15. I'm sorry. Behold, I come as a thief. Come on.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked.
Come on.
And they see his shame.
And lest he walk naked and they see his shame. You know what those garments is, right? Those garments is the commandments. Blessed is he that watch for the signs of the coming of the Messiah and keep his commandments. If we don't keep his commandments, guess what you're doing? You walking naked. You got no garments on. You ain't dressed and ready for the feast, for the wedding feast. Guess what you ain't? You ain't the bride. You ain't dressed and ready for the wedding feast. You naked and he caught you with your work undone. He caught you in your shame. He caught you. To the point where he said, I don't, you know me, don't you? My friend, I don't know you. Somebody come get this man with me. That's you come get the bring your sword. Naked. Verse 16.
Verse 16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
Armageddon. This is the last great war, brothers and sisters. There's going to be a lot of scrimmages of wars all over, and then they're going to all decide. The people going to decide, you know what? Let's just meet in one place and just get it all done at once. We're going to get this handled. We're going to meet here. We're going to meet here. Remember when you was in school? We meet here at 305. Don't punk out. Remember that? The schoolyard? I didn't wait. I just went in, wherever we was at. We just went in. I wait. So all of these fightings, all of these different little scrimmages are going to take place in Armageddon, right? They all are going to meet in one place in Armageddon. Let's go to Revelation 3 and 2. Nope, I don't want that. I don't want that. Let's go back to Revelation 16 and 16. I don't want that either. Let's go to Isaiah 34. Messed you up there. You gotta stay with me. You gotta stay with me. I'll be in the spirit. I'll be in the spirit. Isaiah 34.
And what?
34 and 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it.
And all things that come forth from it. Verse 2.
Verse 2. For the indignation of Yah is upon all nations.
The anger of Yah is upon all nations in the valley of Armageddon. In the valley of Armageddon. All nations are going to meet in the valley of Armageddon. Come on.
And the spirit upon all their armies.
Mm-hmm.
He hath utterly destroyed them.
Come on.
He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
Deliver them to the slaughter. Come on.
Their slain also shall be cast out,
Mm-hmm.
and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses,
Read.
and the mountains shall be melted with their blood,
Come on.
and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll,
Mm-hmm.
and all their hosts shall fall down
Come on.
as the leaf off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
So all of the planes, missiles, satellites, all of that is just gonna fall. Come on.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
My sword is gonna be bathed in heaven. Read.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea,
It shall come down on who?
that Edomite, upon Idumea,
On the Idumea. Read.
and upon the people of my cursed
So why do
judgment.
you think it's saying that my sword is gonna come down on Idumea? Why do you think it's saying that? Why it said now at the beginning of the scripture, it said all nations, did it not?
Mhm.
So why when we get to verse 5, it says it shall come down upon Idumea? Why? Because Idumea is leading the charge. The Edomites are leading the charge. That's why I say that. My sword is going to be bathed in heaven, and it's going to come down on Idumea because Idumea is the world power when this is happening. Idumea is in power. Idumea is in control when it happens. Go to Obadiah, please. We're almost done. Once again, I only did one more time to see it. Obadiah, it's only one chapter, Obadiah. Start at verse 18.
This is the book of Obadiah, verse 18.
Watch this.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire,
The house of Jacob is going to be a fire. Read.
and the house of Joseph a flame.
The house of Joseph, which is northern kingdom, is going to be a flame. Come on.
And the house of Esau
The house of
for
Esau,
stone.
the house of Esau, who was Idumea, is going to be stubble. But you're going to be wood for the fire. Come on.
And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
Come on.
For God spoke of it. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau,
Mm-hmm.
and they of the plain, the Philistines.
Come on.
They shall possess the fields of Ephraim,
Mm-hmm.
and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead.
Come on.
Captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath.
Mm-hmm.
And the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Separad, shall possess the cities of the south.
Come on.
And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yah's.
So that is at the end of this great war. At the end of this great war, you're going to see the children of Israel come up as saviors and come in and protect with the heading of our King, Yahushua. All right, we're going to leave it right there. I hope that you can glean from the lesson. I hope that you have learned something from this lesson about impending prophetic wars. If you did not catch last week's lesson, Daniel's vision, this is a part of that lesson. So please go back, watch that lesson, and apply those scriptures with the scriptures that you have here as well. With that being said, all praise to the Most High. We'll see you next time. Shalom to you.
War for the kingdom of Yah.